Okay, the idea of this video, which we've all seen a few of these on eBay, is to put this Chinese heater into that box, which is aluminium checker plate, and I'm going to have a go at doing it. I've done a one modification so far, not to the box, but to this, which I fabricated. I learned that word yesterday. So I've fabricated this to go on the bottom of this, which I'll show in a sec, so that the exhaust, the inlet, no, the exhaust, the inlet and the exhaust port and the fuel can come out the bottom of this. I'll just show you what I'm roughly doing. So I've got to mount this heater. We're going to sort that plate out, drill the holes through the bottom of this. I used a metal container because I didn't want to use plastic, just in case. So I've fabricated, I like using that word, the bit at the bottom. Take it a little bit higher, so then the pipes and all the gubbins will come out underneath, and then the exhaust will go through here and the inlet will go through there, and then the rest, which is the that's the air being sucked in, and this will be the hot air going out to heat either gym, van or motorhome or whatever, or even boat. But first of all, I've got to mount this to this using, I'm going to use stainless steel pot rivets. So that's my first job. This is making a platform for the base of the portable diesel heater. That's a great bit of a kit this is. I've done it a bit wrong. I shouldn't have bent them first. I should have. But anyway, I'm just going to show you how it works. Grab a handle at the bottom, pull her up, back down. There you go, perfect. Pull it back slightly. And that's it. And that should fit nicely. I'm just going to pop one pop rivet in, just so you can see. If I can get this lined up, because it's a bit tight in there. Oh God, I think it might be too tight. Right, we're there. Oh. I bought this. I built a console with this. I won't make it look hard. It's pretty easy actually. One more. That should be. Woo. Okay. Brilliant. And that's not going to work. Another one here. Then I'll do another. I'll do one there. Yeah. Another one there. Another one there, and then two that side. And that should be. If you look at the front. There you. And it does hold it. I might even put another one there, just to bring it level. Okay, brilliant. Okay, so I've finished fabricating that, stuck it on. Pot rivets are in. Now fitting the diesel heater. I've got the base plate fixed to the bottom of it, so I'm going to mark that. I might want to come back a bit, so I'm just going to mark the plate on the bottom with a pen and two holes. But I think I'm going to have to come, if you can see that way a bit, because I want the actual air vent here to come outside the edge of this box there. Okay, can you see that? If I resume, that's it. So I want this to come that way slightly, to stick out the back. And then, so I'll mark that plate, and then I'll measure an extra ½ inch, I think it is, or an inch, and come that way a bit further. Okay, so I've marked around the plate, and I've moved it, as you can see, about ½ inch, well, ¾ inch further. So hopefully the air duct will stick out to the side here. Okay, on reflection, I'm going to cut this out here, enough to allow for all the screw holes and that, and then I will slide this plate back over, line it with the holes I've just done. So then this plate will be bolted via the 4 bolt holes there, and then this plate as well is automatically ready to receive the diesel heater. So I'll just cut that out, make life a lot easier for myself. Just take a nice little rectangle out of that. Crude hole cut. Plate will go over, as you see, and then I've marked roughly where the heater is going to go through. So using this pipe, duct pipe, which is just a little bit smaller than that, and I've overestimated for it. So next we'll be cutting that out. But my Dremel's just packed up, so I'll show you when I finish that. So then what I've done, I've took the air intake filter off this, lined this up as best as I could inside the box, and I've made a bit of a booby, but I'll tell you about that. That's quite straightforward to put right. Marked it on the roughly on the outside, cut it on the, put it on the inside, marked it on the outside as best as I could. There's that, as you can see. Cut it out with a hole borer, and then use a jigsaw and then filed it all up nice and clean. Now it does fit, but I think there was about a 1/4 inch discrepancy between the height, so I've had to put little spaces. I don't know if I can show you that. Just underneath there, if you can see them, little tiny spaces. So I'm going to have to fit it like that, otherwise I can't get to the screws anyway. So I put little nuts on underneath. So I'm going to have to fit this and then try and put the pipes and everything on afterwards. So I'm going to put it in now, then I'll show you in a sec what it looks like. Okay, that's not going to work because I've got a lip here, and then the unit is hitting that before it even goes through the hole. So it's not lining up with those two at the bottom. So back to the drawing board. As soon as I solve it, I shall get back to you again. Okay, next attempt is put the plate back on again. This time I've put some spare nuts upside down on the threaded parts, which are going to fit through the hole, so I don't need the spacers anymore. This is why it's called a how-to channel, because if it doesn't work, it doesn't work, we'll try something else. So I'm showing you my mistakes as I go along. So let's see if we can fit this. Okay, that didn't work, so I'm going to try now and slide it without the spacers, because it looks like it's going to fit okay. There might be just a slight difference in it, but not enough to worry about. So let's see if I can get these back in now. But I've got to try and do it that way because I can't get to them otherwise once it's in. Okay, we're in. So what I'm going to do is slide a spacer just at the back because the front is supported. If you can see, I don't know if you can see underneath. The screws are dropped through, and there we go. So we're in. I'm trying to make quite a good fitting portable gas heater. Diesel heater, sorry. Right, so I'll get this up, connected, and get the screws, the bolts bolted down. Okay, in. I put 2 spacers at the back, just sitting on their own. It's all bolted down nice and tight. Yes, you can get to the exhaust and the inlet, the air intake, and the fuel line and the exhaust quite comfortably as well, and put the Jubilee clips on. So yeah, that's good. Priority number 1, you've got to remember. Just tip this back up again. There we go. So there's your air intake. So your exhaust you need well away, other end. So my exhaust will be coming out at the back here and going out away from, because the last thing you want to do is suck in diesel fumes into your air intake there and then pump it into your vehicle. So far so good, looking all right. Okay, if you can see that, sorry. So next we'll be drilling a hole, boring a hole in this side, and that'll be for the warm air to be pushed out, which will be on an extended tube, which is these. And then the exhaust, well, I'll be connected it all up. I'll do it stage by stage. So, yep, that's the next bit. So, catch you in a bit. Next, I'm going to fit the exhaust pipe. This is easy if you look, see what I've done. Sorry about the glare. Say, dawdle to bend with your hand. So just put it in my hand, put my fist around it, just grip it tight, and then just bend it, it's fine. Put a Jubilee clip in. When you put the Jubilee clips on, you want them in a position where you know they're easy to get to. I was thinking this might be a bit more tricky, but it's not. It's quite straightforward. Everything can get to. Same with the air pipe. This is a very, very flexy tube. If you can, I should put it on there. There you go. So the air intake, I'm going to put this side, of course, which is the air intake, same as the device. You can see that, another very good picture in there, that's it. And the exhaust is definitely well away. Now the silencer will go on here, and I'm going to have a bit of a think how to mount this and where to put it. So that's your silencer, goes on quite nicely. So I could mount it like that, and I've got an extension exhaust, so even take it further away, because we do not want to suck in the diesel fumes into this device anyway, because out of that end is going to come the hot air, so I'm not too worried about that. So that's where we are at the moment. So we're going to fit the exhaust pipe, bolt it all into place and put the clamps on, and then I'm going to have a look at the air intake and we see where I'm just going to put it straight through here, I think, just through this plate with the I've got it. You have a what they call it. I can show you that in a second. So it comes with a, is it arrestor or a filter they call it? So pop on. So I could fit that. It's actually just directly on there like that. I won't feed the pipe in. Maybe a bit higher than that, not too low on the ground. Okay. So that's my next jobs. I shall show you as I've progressed as I go along. Okay, using a hole borer, all I've done is put a little hole. I've took it up as high as I can because I want to put it on the outside here. So let me just show you 1 second. This filter or resistor, whatever you want to do, air filter, just screws on. So about the one-handedness. And I want to fit it there, so I'm going to put a bracket. I'll take a little bit of this play back in. And what I want to do is fit, I'm going to get a bracket to fit that. It doesn't come with a bracket, sorry about that light. And I'm going to fit it there. But the lid will still be able to open, if you can see the gap. So that's my filter going in there, so that's it. So I've got to put the Jubilee clip on there. And then I'll tighten this one up, and then I'm going to look at the other bit, which is the exhaust. Okay. Okay, 2 Jubilee clips on. Piece of cake. That is absolutely easy peasy. Straight on. I've, like I said, through the holes. That's going to be fitted in the bracket on there next, and then I'm not too sure about the exhaust, but I can fire it up like that anyway. So next will be the fuel line and the pump, but I'm waiting for the tank. I've got a 10-litre tank, but I think it's far too big. I'm just going to use a 5-litre, which will be ideal. Okay, just because there's no one here to give me a hand, I couldn't hold the camera as well, so I've had to just drill a hole, which I used the hole borer again. It's a little bit undersized, and then I just finish it off with a jigsaw and then a file, and this is for the main hot air duct. Hold on. There we go. And then the flexi pipe we get with it, the heat pipe. This is absolute doddle to cut. We just used an ordinary axe saw, and it went straight through. Absolutely piece of cake. I think it's that piece. Actually, they're both the same. It doesn't really matter. And what you do, bear with me, so it's a little bit tight, but it does flex a bit, so, and there we go. It's easy. This bit is absolute doddle. And then, so you can see that I measured it from the edge of the heater unit to just inside the lip of the box, just inside here, and then we measured it down, which is roughly about 1.5 inches. As you can see, lines up perfect. How I cut the hole for this was just put this the ducking against that, drew around it, allowed a little bit, and just a second, it should just go. I'm going to be able to do this now with one hand. Let me just put you down for a sec. Okay, and there you go. Pushes home nice. I'll take this front cover off, and then we'll drop some screws in behind, and that keeps it fixed then. So here we go. Looking pretty good. Another job I've done as well after, I'll show you this, just turn this round. Okay, so I've got to finish off mounting the exhaust, so I'll show you to do that. What else I did as well, I've got some rubber feet, and I've put 4 rubber feet on. There you go. And I've mounted the air intake to the side, so I used 2 spacers so it wouldn't crush the rubber pipe and the plastic bit inside, and then I cut down a small piece of bar I found, hollow tubing, put it there, and then bolted it to the inside just to make it look, you can see that makes it look quite pretty. There we go. It's not going to go anywhere, because it can't go anywhere, but there you go. So I'll show you that. So there's rubber feet, that, the air duct's in now, the air vent's on. I'll screw that in next so it doesn't go anywhere, fit the exhaust, and then it'll be time to wiring, and I'm still waiting for the tank as well. That should be here tomorrow. Okay, just pop 3 screws in, vent will go on, and that's that bit done. Okay, the exhaust bolted on, nice and tight. I've used 4 bolts in between to space it because I didn't want to pull the exhaust and twist it in that direction. I wanted to keep it nice and straight. And I think there's a what they call it, moisture duct at the bottom, which I've left room for. Underneath the bolt, you can see it just there. So she's just bolted in with a locking nut on the outside. Pretty chuffed so far, looking pretty good. Next will be fuel line and pump, but I'll probably wait for the fuel tank, which should be here tomorrow. Okay, next installment tomorrow. Okay, fuel tanks next. I bought a 5 litre one because the 10 litre one, I was not going to fit on here properly, so I want a 5 litre one. I've drew the holes already pre-marked for you. I've just gone through it. There's only a tiny little film over them. Then I've got a pen and I've marked, if you can see that one there, might not be able to see that. There you go, just marked them, ready to go. Before any of that, we've got to drill a hole in the bottom, and if you can see, that's got a pretty little dent in it. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to drill it with a 6mm drill, because I think this is going to be about an 8mm by the look of it, and I want it to try and grip just on the inside, so I can try and thread it down as well, so it makes it more secure. If you understand what I mean. You're going to need a bit of wire. You might be able to use a coat hanger, but I think it might be a bit too thick for the hole. You can use a bit of wire from some old install-offs or electrical, cable. Take the earth wire out. You could use something like that. You could even use a fishing line if you put a little tiny weight on it and try and get it down through the hole. Well, that's what we've got to do next. So next job is to drill that and then thread this through that. So like this, down through, so it comes out, and hopefully you're going to try and turn it around and pull it through here, and then maybe screw it. Also comes with 2 rubber washers and a lock washer, so you're going to leave 1 washer at the top, take 1 washer off, so 1 on the inside and 1 on the outside, if you can see that. Sorry, got the camera at a bad angle. So 1 on the inside, 1 on the outside. There's no instructions with these when they come, so I'm just guessing and going as I go along. First things first, let's see if we can drill this hole accurately. There's a little indent in there. Well, that wasn't difficult at all. But also, you remember, you've got to check inside because you don't want any debris inside. Actually, there isn't any. Oh, that's good. So you need it as clean as possible. Before I put it in, I'm going to try, because you might need a little bit more. There's nowhere near. I'm going to have to go bigger than that. Yeah, a lot bigger, because it's not even. Can you see that? Sorry. I'm struggling just to get the nozzle through. So I'm probably thinking maybe an 8. Yeah, so hold on. Here we go again. Check for any debris inside. We don't want any debris. Okay, that's what that's like. I have to go more yet, I think. I'm not going to get anywhere, am I? I was hoping to sort of screw that in as well. No, it's not going to go, is it? I might leave it as an 8 and just give it a little bit of a way around. We'll have a look. We'll have a look. That wasn't 8. That was a 6 by the look of it. So now we've got an 8. So, oof, that drags. Okay, gives that a bit of a razz. That's it, that'll do it. So I'll double check that for you and I'll give you the measurements. So next thing to do, take one of the rubbers off, get your tank. Sorry, this is long-winded, folks, so get your wire, look down inside your tank. There we go. Just feed it through. Get your nozzle. Okay. Push him down. Here he comes. Okay, just check inside, all good. Then you want your rubber on that, pushing in. Screw to make sure no more can come out. That's it. And somewhere I put the locking washer. Ah, there we go. You have to have 2 hands, I think. You're going to pull him through. There isn't much to play with, I've got to admit. Got it. Right. Okay. Right, so we've got to tighten that up and then fix the tank. Okay, I'm going to give you a heads up here. This is quite a poor design. I don't know if you can see in there. Can you see the hole down there where my thin finger is? If you look either side of that, there's quite a considerable lip. This is quite a poor design, really. I might have to complain about this, because if I turn it over, the distance of that does not let this valve sit inside it. It doesn't fit properly inside, because inside there's a considerable lip, which I don't think you can see. I can zoom into that. Oops, sorry. Can you see that? There's quite a considerable lip, and it doesn't fit unless you narrow this down, but if you narrow this down, you're not going to get a good fit. So that's a poor design, very poor design. You going? Yep. Okay, so I fixed the pump to the side. Like I said, we start from the bottom. So there's the fuel line coming out, around, up into that. Whether it's going to stay here, I don't know. I'm just going to want to test the device now. So into the fuel pump, connection in. You can't go wrong with the connectors. They can only go around one way. They only go into the device. Like this is totally different to that connector. Okay, and the other one as well. The main connector on the unit is totally different as well. And then you've got positive and negative, and that's going to go, I'll show you now, to the transformer that I wired up in a previous video with an extension lead, because I want to do battery and I want to do mains operated on this. So the next thing to do now, I'm going to follow this lead and we're going to temporarily now connect this to a filter and then into a fuel tank, because like I said in the previous video and in this one, the fuel tank it's got a fault. It's the, well, you'll see that anyway in the video. So without further ado, I will carry on. Okay, yeah, so I think I made a bit of a slight error there, so don't listen to me. Right, so one rubber coupling there, one. You've got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you need to cut the rubber you get with your diesel heater into 6 equal parts. Okay, what I've done on here, because they've cocked up with the fuel tank, I've put the fuel tap on the end, or tap, whatever it is, or fuel jobby, and I'm going to drop that into this with some diesel, because I'm going to have to temporarily just use this for now, see if we can get it going. So I'll get some fuel in that tank, get back to you. Okay, wired it, positive, negative. So I'll put the little flap down, you can see positive and then negative on that one. Okay, so I'm going to plug it in a minute. I've got the just dropped into a fuel tank, then use the other one because it's pointless. I can't put the lid on anyway. So that's dropped into the bottom of the tank. Next we're going to fire it up and prime it, and I'll show you that. Okay, I've just plugged it in and that's come straight up. So I believe now, I'm going to get me tripod, hold on a sec. So I believe it's these two and then up. So I've got an extra clip on the fuel pump, if you can see that. Oop. I've got to take that off. I've left it on there by mistake, but it's fine. So this primes it. I don't know how long it takes, but I'll give that a go. I hope I got this round the right way. Okay. It seems to be getting faster, but fuel is, if you can see that, it's creeping through the pipe. I believe it stops after a while. You can do it again, so you can see the air coming through. Okay, let that keep going for a minute. Okay, it's just stopped, so I'm going to press the up arrow again, if you can see that. Can you see that? So it's not seemed to be going, so I'll press. No. So it's kicking the pump up, but there's enough fuel in it just yet, to be honest with you. Nope, so it stopped. Error. Hold it in. If you hold it in, and then it should switch off. Off. I'm going to prime it again. Right. Okay, that's priming again. It's actually difficult to see where the fuel is at the moment. It's now, sorry, it's a bit dark in here. It's now going down to the bottom pipe here. So you can see on the clock it's saying pump. So it shouldn't be far off reaching the heater in a minute. Battery's good. Your Wi-Fi is good, so it's automatic. I've got a control for this. I'd like to try that. It's the first time I've ever done one of these, so you have to bear with me, folks. Okay. Okay, it's just stopped again. Let's see if she fires up this time. The fan you can hear at the moment is the one on the control unit, which is the transformer. Got an error 06 again. So might be another time for more fuel. I believe it does take a while to prime them. Right, so got a bit of fumes coming out. I left the door open because I don't want to die. The pump's now kicking in. It says the pump's working. I don't really get any heat just yet. A lot of smoke because it's the first fire up. And E-06 error. And it's the bloody fan at the front here jammed. So E6. Let's have a look. Right, so she's getting warmer. But it's definitely fine. I'm going to go nip outside, let it clear a bit. But I'm going to have to check the seating of the unit. Not too bad. Yeah, but E-06 error is fan sticking. But that doesn't correspond. Well, it says here, E601, no, E606 is intake temperature sensor broken, inside temperature sensor short circuit, outside temperature broken, but it's not. It's actually the fan's not bloody working. Right, so it's a bit smoky. She's getting watered. That fan is not good. I'm going to have to take that apart and check it. Can you hear it? I'll just let the air clear. Sorry, folks. That's a lot of smoke. That's a lot of smoke. Pump's going well. Just getting up to temperature now. I'll come back in a sec. Actually, I'm going to switch it off, I think. We've got hot air coming out, but I'm not staying in here. I don't think that fan's not doing very well. I'm switching it off. Hold the power button in. So it works, but I've got to check that fan out. It's not a good. I'm going outside. Don't do this at home, folks. This is not a good idea, okay? I'm outside now. I'm going to let that clear. Yeah. So I've got to take it apart again and then check that fan. It's not sitting right. But it works. I'm chuffed with that. She's smoking a bit, but like I said, that fan's jamming. Okay, I'm going to pop back in, hold my breath, and just show you what's happening. And then I'll call it quits on the video. So, on personal advice is, test it outside the box first before you put it all together. I think that's a big bonus. Right, here we go. Okay, it's clearing quite nicely in there. Whew. Right. Okay, so yeah, I'll fix that. I know what it is now. So E-06 is your fan is jammed inside your unit, if anybody's watching that. Alright, thanks for watching. Catch you next vid. I might take it all apart and decide another way of doing it, but that's an experiment I wanted to do. Cheers, thanks a lot, bye.